Hello everyone, Ted Clayton here. This video is going to be about red pill versus black pill, specifically the red pill community's critiques on black pill ideology. This is something that I've been observing for some time. However, it wasn't until I was watching a series of videos from a prominent red pill YouTuber, Coach Redpill, and their responses on another YouTuber, a black pill YouTuber called Waffles. I'd never heard of Waffles. I want to say I might have seen them recommended on my homepage, but probably never clicked it or saw it and don't remember it. But once I got into the page, which Coach Redpill was generous enough to provide a link in each of the response videos, I immediately understood the ideology because it's something that I've been seeing here and there on the internet. Now, just to put it out there, because there are a few things that I do want to break down, a few thoughts that I do want to share. In essence, when it comes to red pill versus black pill, my thoughts are more aligned with black pill. However, I don't support one going to the extreme of nihilism, solipsism, in essence, just complete hopelessness. I don't believe in that. I strongly encourage a positive mindset. However, the black pill ideology is a better navigation into what's going on. So that's that. Just to kind of wrap that up in a very concise manner. Now, what I think is happening, this is my intent to share this video. What I think is happening is that the red pill community is starting to see that there's another layer of reality that they didn't think existed. Now, the whole thing with red pill is that the red pill community, we figured everything out. Everything's been figured out. You're red pill, blue pill, red pill. Now the red pill feels that everything has been figured out, and pretty much it is on the right path. But of course, anyone watching these things, you kind of start to see that even when you adopt these things, and sometimes you may have already done so, you're not seeing any results. Things are not changing. And I would take it a step further and say there is a little bit of frustration when we see people on YouTube, influencers, that they're getting some notoriety, some fame, some money from becoming a YouTuber, sharing these things, which might be shielding them from that extra layer, that next layer of what's going on. And I want to be very careful with how I say these things, because I don't want to say that these people are less than or anything like that, but I see it as layers of reality. So we're going to go with that premise. The red pill community, I've been seeing, they've been sharing these critiques. And what I think is happening, I'm pretty sure what I think is happening is that I think more on a subconscious level, because of course there's always on the surface where the red pill community believes they've gotten everything figured out, and anything more than that is just becoming negative. It's just becoming just being down, feeling sorry for yourself. But it's not really that, because again, some of the things you may adopt or have already been doing and they don't work. And I will speak for myself, being an intelligent person. I started to see, well, okay, it's good to hear these things because it validates what you're thinking. But then you start to look at what's going on in your life and think to yourself, well, I got a pretty good grasp on what's going on, and I'm looking at all the alternatives, and I don't really see a way out of this thing. I don't see how things could change. It would take some Herculean measure, or this really game-changing situation, winning a lottery or getting a big job, or just big, just like overnight success, overnight fame, or something like that. It would take something like that to change my situation. And for most people, for really the average person, those things that's not going to happen. Because again, it's far-fetched, and the odds are stacked against one. That's also another thing. But it's just circumstances, et cetera, et cetera. It just makes changing one's circumstance difficult. It's just the way life is now. There's just way too many obstacles. That's what I mean to say. But so that's what I think there initially. That's the initial reaction. Subconsciously, and again, I want to be very respectful with my thoughts on this matter. Very delicate. Subconsciously, what I think is happening is that a darker reality is probably terrifying for the red pill community, because again, it's a thing of believing to having things figured out, and then now seeing that there's probably more that's going on, which there is. Again, time will tell, but it's also a thing of enough time has passed as well. And I don't really want to say this, but I have it in my notes, and I just have to say it anyway. There's the possibility, and if anything, I think even the most well-intentioned person, this is going to be at least play a small part. It would even be an issue with me, where on a spectrum, at best, it's this new ideology. Because again, it's not just this is far beyond just other YouTubers. This now is a different reality, another level of reality. So that's really disorienting. So on a spectrum, at best, is a threat to one's earning capability, and on the other side of the spectrum is a threat to one's ego. But so I had to put that out there. I really don't want to get into that, but that is something that crossed my mind, and I think on a very humanistic level that would play a part. Now, how much it plays a part, that's subject to debate. So let's see. I'm just reading my notes here. Okay, so one of the things that, because I started seeing Wheat Waffles videos, and again, like I said, I've been seeing this ideology in a lot of different channels. Not many, but a few, so it's nothing new to me. But I want to use Wheat Waffles channel as a template, just as a reference point. So he made this video debunking red pill beliefs, the basic doctrines of red pill, and there's three ideas that he debunks. Now, well, first is, let me share the beliefs. First is the numbers game. Second is have abundance mindset. And third is just learn game. Now, what he shares, his debunking, is accurate. However, I will say that it's to look at it from a different perspective. What's important is to have a positive outlook. So these ideas are actually true, but again, it's maintaining that positive outlook. It's not just doing this. So let me share. And I will give Waffles credit because I see another video where he does say that Blackpill is more of a navigation. It's not a thing of just giving up hope totally. And I think that's very important. So number one, with the numbers game, no. Do not go out there and just talk to every girl you see. However, positive mindset. Start conversations. Be very, tell jokes. I like to talk about music a lot when I go to certain places, but I keep the conversations very short. Now this is me. I have I can be introverted and extroverted. I'm more introverted, but at times I like to talk to people. I like to engage with people. So I like to have small talk. Nothing too personal, but I like to have small talk. So I like to have engage in these little conversations to build rapport with someone. That way, I don't want to come across as somebody that's just in their own world and doesn't want to be bothered, but at least it builds that reputation that women will know. They can think however they want about me, but it builds that reputation where that guy's smart, he's funny, he's has his finger on the pulse of what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. The abundance mindset. This does not mean to go to the extent of being aloof. I think it's easy to misconstrue that. And again, I understand the frustration because the red pill community is constantly emphasizing just they will hear what someone's saying, and I will see these videos and see the comments, and the immediate reaction is, "Oh, I don't want to hear that. Just stay on your purpose." Or if you just stayed on your purpose, then you wouldn't have that problem. Well, the thing is, some people are trapped in these situations. So let's just kind of look at that situation and overlay with the red pill ideology, which in essence gives you the black pill. But again, positive mindset. So with abundance mindset, kind of losing my point a little bit here, but I'll continue. With the abundance mindset and reinforcing a positive mindset, don't be aloof. Don't try to project a false self, false persona, this kind of image, but know your value, know your worth. I'm going to leave it at that. I think that just knowing that is not only self-explanatory, but it starts to, it kind of dictates. It starts to solve things in itself. A simple example is I could be around a bunch of women, and I'm not going to get too, if they don't pay attention to me or anything like that, I'm not going to let that, yes, it'll get my attention or it'll bother me because it's like, wow, I'm just totally being ignored. But I'm still going to, project or engage with people to just to keep my energy high because I know who I am. It's not for image. It's because then I start to feel uncomfortable. Just learn game. I had a better, again, keeping a positive mindset. I had something I thought of, a great way to articulate this, and I forgot it. In essence, it's good to understand how to navigate through situations. To read the room would be a good way to put it. I'm going to leave it at that. Reading the room. But again, knowing your value, and then I'm kind of working backwards here, knowing the value and then knowing who to interact with, that's pretty much game right there. You're not keeping to yourself. I mean, yes, there's times you might want to keep to yourself, but you're now showing that you can control your environment. If you can't be on top, at least you can navigate through it and you will not sink. All right, so that's basically my thoughts on the debunking. I do believe that these things are important. However, it's a caveat would be to keep a positive mind state. Let's see. Blackpill is more threatening than you think. Be careful with alternative facts. So other YouTubers that are talking about this, just take in the information, take it into consideration. I'm not saying to believe one over another, but this is some pretty heavy stuff. So just take the meat of it, take the essence of it, and see what applies. But don't get too... try not to get too... absorb too much of the information too quickly, at least. Just, again, take the essence of the ideology, what's being shared, and use that to navigate through your life. Now, I think the most important thing here is solutions. The only solution is just one thing. It's let things play out. That's it. There's not really much to do. It's, again, positive mindset. Again, those three things are a little more of a breakdown, what you can actually do in practice, but it's all having a positive mindset. But the way things are going, it is bleak. I'm not going to say completely hopeless, but it is pretty bleak. It's going to be difficult and it's going to be pretty challenging. So it's really just letting things play out. And it has to, because what's happening is very detrimental, and we actually have to expose it for what it is, where this system is not working. What we're dealing with right now is not working. Yeah, there's some pros and cons, or there's some advantages, but you know, it comes at a price. So let's see, what do I have here? I want to wrap this video up. Don't really want to get into too much, so I'm just looking at my notes here. So in essence, with the letting things play out, and let me actually, sorry, I'm jumping around. I'll come back to that last point. With letting things play out, be the best version of yourself. Positive mindset. Again, I know I'm saying that over and over, but what's important about this is that people will eventually see the discrepancies in what's going on. So you can be in any environment, it doesn't matter. Let's just say your job. If you conduct yourself with a certain moral compass, grounded in reality, it may take some time for some people, but the people who are genuine, slowly they'll start to see who's the real, who are the real ones and who are the fake ones, and they will associate you with being one of the real ones. And it will take some time. It will definitely take some time, and they may still be confused on certain things or not fully see certain things, but that's completely fine. It's more of, as long as they are still recognize you, then that's all that matters. And recognize the realness in you. That's all that matters. And what you stand for, that's all that matters. Solutions will present itself. There's really no answers. So really, that's in essence, to just wrap this up, or at least that point. There's no answers in this. And I've been pretty far along this game. I would probably say I beat the game. So there's no answers, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because you kind of can create your own existence. Now, I know that sounds real new agey, but it's the truth. Of course, within the confines of the reality that we're dealing with, but you're on your own. There's no obligations to anyone, no kind of compromises, no manipulations, nothing like that. But it is kind of a lonely thing because everyone is kind of beholden to someone else or something else. But just take one step at a time. You'll just start to see. You get in a situation, take some time, stop, and see what's going on, and a solution will present itself. And in essence, you may not see a solution, but you'll start to see the variables, and then you use that same compass to move on to the next stage. The note that I had here was to Epstein as a solution. I'm going to keep this one very brief. I totally will understand. So let's put that out there. I totally will understand. The only thing I would say is, and there's another YouTuber that said this. I've thought about this a long time ago. Aaron Cleary, Asshole Consulting. He says that before you go along with Epstein, to try your best in changing your circumstance, working out. It's not like just go hard in the gym. I'm more of an advocate of just be in the best shape you can be. Be as healthy as you can be. Don't think about trying to impress the girls, to be a bodybuilder, to beat up anybody. Just be in the best shape. If you can do those other things, that's my thing. My criteria, and especially being a rather diminutive male, is as long as I could just bop somebody over the head and run really fast away from them, that's fine with me. But again, anything, if you're involved in, let's say, education, try to get the highest degree that you can without, and I'm not trying to get into the college thing, but get the highest degree that you can, or finish whatever certification or diploma, the curriculum. If you're in a job, try to do your best to get a promotion or to leverage certain situations, move to another location, things like that. Your love life, try to work something out with who you're with, or try to maybe deal with different people, multiple partners, and try to work something out through that is good for you and for everyone else. Again, I think it's self-explanatory. I'm really going a little too deep into that, so forgive me for that. But I think you guys see what I'm saying. Just whatever, and all of that there's no real formula. I think in yourself, whatever you're dealing with. Okay, I'm trying to do this YouTube thing. Let me do YouTube. And it's a perfect example. You break everything up. I'm doing this YouTube thing. Let me do this for about 6 months to a year. Try to keep some kind of consistency, upgrade here and there, and see where this goes. And of course, evaluating along the way. But okay, let me give myself a benchmark of about 6 months to a year, see how it goes, and do that with everything. I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And again, I did give a heads up that this video would be long. Thank you, anyone that is still listening at this point. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm seeing this, I don't want to call it schism, but I'm seeing this now kind of crossing over into another reality, and that's what's basically going on. I don't really want to get too deep into that because I could really I make this video much longer, but I don't want to get into like Matrix kind of stuff. Wasn't there a part in the Matrix where, and forgive me because in the Matrix there's a lot of stuff I still don't understand. One of the main reasons is because they speak in big word. Even though I went to NYU, I don't speak big word. I'm really smart, but I don't speak big word. I need someone to translate. But didn't they say something where, wasn't there a situation where the architect had given Neo a choice, and even though he was Redpill, it was still a choice that was given to him? You see where I'm going with this? So it's still kind of working in the confines of the reality that we know. It's just you went one extra. You thought you escaped, but you really didn't. That was set up for you, just so you don't really you don't bust out of the jail. That's what's really happening, and I think the black pill is kind of that. So I don't really want to go too deep into false reality and things like that. That's what I was saying with alternate facts. Just take, whatever resonates with you, that's fine. But as far as how you conduct your life with other people, and yeah, it starts with yourself, but other people, it's just start with the basics. And I'm talking too much. I forgot where I was going with this, but just stick to the fundamentals and whatever else that's being shared, just take it into consideration, and just leave it at that. If it applies, it applies, but just take it. Don't absorb it so quickly. That's what I meant to say. And I do want to end with one last note. When this whole has to do with women, I mean, the black pill is really everything, but at the heart of it, it is women. That's the main thing that men are really concerned with. So just as a footnote, to really give some perspective on this. And hopefully people will get where I'm going with this, and it'll give a little more clarity. I think this one thing will just answer everything. And that is that modern feminism is, in essence, women versus women. Now, there could be a larger conversation about this where little things could be broken down, but let's just say, for example, most women will go out with guys who are not necessarily intelligent. They're weak-minded. They're easily to manipulate, but they're really good looking. They're very handsome. On that side of things, they're very handsome. Well, a way to look at this is maybe women don't want to procreate with someone that they can't control to then have offspring that can't be controlled as well, or won't adapt as easily. Will have offspring that could adapt more easily to the current reality that we live in. You see what I'm saying? So look at this and with everything else that's going on. I think that will help out a little bit with trying to just look at things. But again, so it's not so much of a women are doing this. It's therefore, it is a thing of, and I'll give credit to Waffles for this. It's something that he does give credit to, where it's the options. Women are just taking advantage of the options, maybe being short-sighted, not being very sensitive, and not being very not introspective, but not being very critical. I'm just going to use that word, like not really analyzing things fully, but that's basically what's happening. So anyhow, I know I shared a lot here. Thanks for anyone to everyone that still remained, who's still listening. So that's what I think in regards to Red Pill and Black Pill. That's what I believe is happening. I strongly believe that's the case. It's just another reality that we're starting to see, and this is something that is basically uncharted territory. Well, that's all. Thanks for listening. Please like, comment, and share. Donate as well. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.